So, I looked this thing up, read all about it. Built in 1993, but for straight line speed, it'll match most supercars on the road today. Speaking of which, you want to do the honors?
Hey there, YouTube and Facebook. Blue Dooley, back in Forza Horizon 4. And just got the XJ220. Probably my favorite car from Need for Speed 2, I think it was in. Yeah. Today, we're gonna go do the Halo Showcase. I'm gonna street race this Mercedes-Benz race semi-truck and do terrible. And then I'm gonna race it again against other trucks and do a little better. I keep fiddling with the handling of this truck, trying to get it to oversteer at all. And so far I haven't had much success. Even doing everything the little screen on the side tells you to do to make the truck oversteer. Which doesn't make much sense because there's pretty much no weight on the back end at all. And all the weight's on the front end. So you'd think with a little brake and weight shifting, the front end would bite and the rear end would just want to step out all the time. But sadly that's not the case. I also really don't care because it's so much fun to drive. Even though it doesn't handle really great. And it sounds awesome. I love the sound of this truck when you're driving inside. The supercharger whine's pretty cool. Like I said, we're going to go over to the Halo Experience Showcase.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Which was pretty awesome. I don't remember the Marines being quite so gung-ho the few times I did play Halo. And I cut out the glitchy bits I did get recording this stretch of video. So I'm going to drive most of the way there. I paused to take a photo, which is evident because it goes from daylight like this to night. I just cut out the part where I took the photo. The chassis detail on this truck is amazing. The only complaint I do have about it and the Unimog are the people who like modeled the trucks and designed them. I don't think those people talked to the guys that did the camera work, or you know, the little cutscene camera things between events, because on this particular truck they didn't render the entire leaf spring on the front end. When we get to the race later, I pointed out, because the camera's kind of panning around the vehicle and your avatar's doing whatever little stupid dance you have your avatar doing. You can kind of see where they forgot to connect the leaf spring up to the frame. But I don't think most software designers are used to showing that much undercarriage of a vehicle. The Unimog and this definitely have a lot more exposed chassis than almost anything aside from the aerial Nomad. This truck and the Volvo Iron Knight, I finally got it. They're just ridiculous, but they're so much fun. They sound so cool. 2,400 horsepower. I mean, what's not to like, really? I'm quite a bit further along in the game now than I am in this video. I almost have all the barn finds. Those just seem to crop up and without really doing much. At the beginning of the video I forget how many I had, but I think right now I only have 3 or 4 left to find. And I know the one you have to buy the castle to get the barn find rumor to trigger on that one. But I don't have $10 million yet because I keep spending it on souping up trucks. I did some modding to the Iron Knight. That's a fun truck. You know, the backup camera or rear view camera there just above the steering wheel in this truck's really cool. I love the whine of the supercharger. Yeah. Skipped over here.
You have arrived
Gonna
at
do
your
the
destination.
Halo Experience Showcase. They put a lot of Halo assets in it. I'm kind of impressed. I also kind of wish we could have kept the Spartan armor you get. But sadly, that's not the case. The Spartan armor is about the coolest thing you can probably wear in the game. Everything else is a little ridiculous. The armor looks really good for being a racing game. I kind of wish we could keep it. The Warthog's a fun vehicle to drive. My brother-in-law gave me the code so I could have it in Horizon 3. And really, if you put a different paint job on it and some 5-spoke rims, it kind of looks like the Traxxas E-Max a bit. Especially with the big red shocks. Yeah, they even changed the world map a little bit. So you got the ring effect.
Actual. Cortana, do you read me? I heard you need a pickup.
Cortana to Kilo Actual. Perfect timing. We're all done here and ready for dust off.
Whoa! A boarding pickup. Sorry, Cortana. I gotta shake these bogies.
Affirmative, Kilo Actual. I'll scan for a new LZ. Chief, gun it. Get us out of here.
Cortana, what is this place?
I don't know. Looks like a fortification of some kind, but it hasn't been used in centuries.
Is that a Spartan? We're gonna make it home after all.
Okay, new LZ found. We don't have long. This ring is gonna go nuclear in 3 minutes, and we do not want to be here when it does. Marines, I've added coordinates to your nav. Be there for evac in 3 minutes. Hey, keep your head down. There's 2 of us in here now.
Roger that, Cortana. Hoorah!
Yeah.
Look at these ancient dwellings. It almost looks like something lives here.
Just go straight
You'd-
up here.
you'd
We've got
think
a better
Cortana
chance
would
of
know
avoiding
what
those Banshees off-road.
old houses look like. I mean, she's a computer AI.
Hoorah!
And yeah, the Marines
Whoa,
just
Banshees,
hoorahing all
look
over
out.
the place. Blew that one.
Banshees inbound. Try and lose them through those trees.
Yeah, a lot of Halo assets in this. They added
Alert,
some
Banshees, fast and low.
Banshee,
characters
save us, Chief!
ducking behind cover and shooting at you to drive fast that won't be almost like the game.
This is Cortana to all air support units. I'm sending you coordinates for an LZ, requesting immediate evac. Repeat, all air support units to the LZ.
Cortana, I'm getting a green from 3, 4, make that 5 Pelicans. En route to the LZ. You and the Marines had better be there soon. Cortana, I can't follow you through there. I'll see you on the other side.
That's not the most reassuring choice of words.
I also don't remember Cortana being smug.
Woo! Echo!
Or not knowing what a tunnel
Comms
is.
have gone quiet. Kilo Actual, do you read? Kilo Actual. Whoa!
Loud and clear, Cortana.
Good to see you again, pilot. I do not want to reach that LZ without you.
Hoorah!
Thanks, Marine.
Cortana to all units, the LZ is right ahead. We have 30 seconds before the ring superstructure begins to collapse.
So that'd be cool if you could hit one of those. I haven't replayed it to see if you can.
15 seconds, Chief. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
And totally blew
2,
this corner.
1. We're not gonna make it.
Thankfully, it doesn't matter.
Pilot, this would be a very good time to leave.
Yeah, and I don't remember being quite so pushy, but it's been a long time since I've played any of the Halo games. And the last one I played was Reach, so I don't think she was in that one at all. Ooh, and we got yellow wellies. Yay! Fancy rubber boots. And a wheel spin. I've gotten terrible luck with the wheel spins, like shorts.
Right, we've
or
come down the
horns.
field again. You're racing against only hardcore cross-country drivers now. The kinds who carry their own tools and sleeping bag. Welcome to round 5 of the cross-country racing series.
Yeah, we're gonna go do a street race with the Mercedes. And, well, I didn't come in last, so I suppose that's good. It does get a little choppy after we get kind of closer to the road. I just really don't know what to do about that, except spend money to get the hardware to capture stuff right. But the rest of the video is pretty smooth. It's just the little hiccups here. But the street race, I'm still on highly skilled difficulty. And even though the entire field is Class A vehicles, which is what the truck currently is spec'd at, you have to slow down so much for a corner in this thing that it really doesn't stand a chance, even with 2,400 horsepower. It's a bit silly, and that's why I keep driving it, because I like the bit silly. I've been trying to gear it a little bit too, so I can hit the speed zones with it, because that's kind of fun. Have kept it online. I don't know if anybody else has had problems with some of the server stuff, like
At the roundabout,
the
take the second
photos
exit.
I've taken. I still can't seem to upload to the Forza Horizon gallery tree. The auction house hasn't worked for me in weeks, because I have all these cars I'd like to get rid of. The wheel spins keep giving me Chevys, and I don't want them. And a lot of other cars that I just won't ever drive. So, if I can sell them cheap and let somebody else have them who wants them, that's cool. And the truck just pushes so bad. Still, I like it because it's not something everybody else drives. Anytime I've come across other online players, they're all in cars. I don't think I've seen anybody in an SUV or the Raptor or the Power Wagon. They've all been in cars, so I'm glad to interrupt their gaming with a giant semi truck just tearing stuff up. It's got to be kind of amusing. Like, what's that guy doing?
Left.
So chances are, if you're online and we're on the same server, you're more than likely going to see me tearing around in
You
this
have
truck with a
arrived
Power
at your
Wagon.
destination.
Reservoir Run street race. Yeah, as the camera pans around here, look in front of the wheel, and you'll notice the leaf spring doesn't go to anywhere. Like I said, I think the people who modeled the vehicle didn't talk to the people who were going to do the cutscene animation. But that's... I mean, you don't really look at the underside of the vehicle that much, so it really doesn't matter. But just nitpicking. Tuning the truck again to try and get it to turn better. I'd soften the front springs to try to get the front end to bite a little more, up the downforce, shift more braking to the rear, and I've even stiffened up the rear sway bar so it's stiffer than the front, because that's supposed to help give the vehicle oversteer. And it's still not much luck. Start out in 7th, and I don't really get much higher than that. And here comes my dog. You just have to slow down so much more than everybody else in this truck. Straight line power, it has a lot of power to pull, but yeah, that corner just really hurts it. That whine though, just sounds so cool. All the gauges that work, I mean, they really put a lot of detail into the interior of the vehicle. But I struggle in this run. Through pretty much all my own fault for trying to race a truck against cars. But it's just so much fun. And on the highly skilled difficulty, I think the difficulty affects the street racing AI more than the other AI, because the street racing seems to consistently get much harder with every round than any of the other racing. Like the cross country, it didn't seem like it started to get harder until the 6th or 7th round. The street racing, only round 3, and it's you gotta have a car and not a truck to do it. So I did do all of the drag racing with this truck. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, drag racing is pretty much a straight line, so the fact the truck handles terribly doesn't really matter. And I thought the street racing it might do a little better in, because it's so heavy. If you run into another vehicle, like a non-racer vehicle, it just punts the other vehicle out of the way. Like I've been just tearing across the highway or a straight bit of 2-lane and not noticed another vehicle come up until I just slow down like 10 mile an hour and there's this car spinning off into the side. So I thought, man, if I get in a wreck, I'll be alright. But you know, I'm sliding off the road at 48 mile an hour, and I think everybody else is still up around 70, 80 miles an hour. Yeah, I'm not gonna win them all, but it's still fun. That truck just looks so cool. Yeah, I mean, all 740, 750 cars, so oh well. Influence. Yay. Gonna unlock a car here in a little bit. We skip straight to the Derwent Lakeside Sprint and set up a truck racing event. Class A, of course. The truck's 748, so I also thought it'd be fun with some rain. I mean, the vehicle already handles bad. Let's make the roads wet so it handles worse. That's got to be fun. Not quite sure what that came up with, because I didn't see it on the TV screen, so it must have been something odd with the stream. Not very creative with names. And that's the other problem I have, is the servers aren't loading up other people's blueprints, so I haven't been able to race anybody else's blueprint, which is kind of disappointing, because I've done a couple and they were fun. Actually had to make it twice because I selected the wrong class of vehicle first, so oops. The blueprinting is fun. it lets you race what you want to race instead of being stuck racing what the game designers think you want to race. So you could probably do the entire game with this truck and just race other trucks all the time, except the street races, which are just random. The designs and paints, I can't seem to bring up other people's designs. Of course, I got the Iron Knight and immediately just painted it blue. It actually looks really good, just a single solid color and black rims. That might be a little biased of me, though. Yeah. I also kind of like making fun of NASCAR because over in Europe they race these vehicles in foul weather. So it's like European redneck can get a 10,000 pound turbo diesel semi truck to drive a road course in the rain, but we can't get a stock car to drive in a circle in the rain. That's probably not very nice of me to pick on NASCAR like that, but my dad was a huge fan. Grandpa was a huge fan. I remember watching races with them, and it's kind of like, yeah, they're driving in a circle, Dad. At least the Grand Prix, the car's recognizable by its shape, not by the paint job. Which it's like if you're gonna race something, at least, you know, have the car look like the street car, not every other vehicle. Excuse me. Yeah, I just like trucks more. And there were a couple of truck racing games. I had one for the PS2 where all you did was just race these kind of trucks, which I thought it was fun. Most of my friends found it boring because it's not like the trucks go as fast as the cars do. But it was something different. And now we're going to pull out a win. The other thing I noticed the game developers forgot was this particular truck has dual rear wheels. And when you do a burnout, you only leave one mark on each side of the truck. It's the little things I notice like that. You know, even the road spray. There should be a little more road spray since there's 4 tires in the back, not 2. But, yeah, little road spray. First place. And, you know, not a huge lead. Kind of surprised the Iron Knight did so poorly. Somehow got 2 of the same Drivatars behind me. Get another wheel spin and I end up getting some cash. I like getting cash or cars. I don't care about the horns or the clothing or the emotes like fist pump. I just don't care. Hope everybody enjoyed this video and my terrible truck driving. I filmed this on the weekend and I'm editing it on the weekend, so I hope everybody has a good weekend. As always, hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.